Hi, my name is Ray Seisen, and today I've been asked to do analysis on the possible changes coming here to Clover Foods. Today my presentation will be answering the question of whether to keep our floral department or add a new ready-made meal department here at Clover Foods. Now first we need to consider the business concepts and factors, the first of which being the concept of competition. Now every business at every scale has to keep an eye on everything. That means a small business needs to watch what the larger businesses are doing, and the large need to keep an eye on what the small businesses are doing as well. To do this, you need to have a strategy of your own decisions that will best compete with the businesses. This can be from when and where to market, to even just keeping a clean store. Every decision you make needs to coincide with your strategy. Our next concept is the factors affecting business risk. Now, when thinking of the risks businesses take, there's a lot of things that come into play. This can be other businesses changing their strategies, and you maybe having to change your own strategy. Now, changes in strategy will add costs, which will then add more risks, but there's more possible benefit at the end because it may bring in more revenue. There's also a risk of sticking to your guns, doing what you know best. Now, there's businesses that sometimes like to keep what they're doing, but sometimes they can get ran over by the businesses who are taking the bigger risks. So there is a risk that goes into just sticking with your guns. The next concept is the factors affecting business profit. Now, there's more to profit than just money and revenue. There's also a value to each product and service. This means that the product and service each have a different line of value. Each will cost more or less, and each will cost more or less to buy and sell. Now there's the quality in product or service. Like I said earlier, each one has a different value to it, and having better quality will usually ensure having more value. Another is marketing. Now, if there's a new business that opens up that doesn't market and just thinks people will come to them, they probably won't make much profit. Because of this, you need to market your business and service. This can be putting up billboards or doing something online. There needs to be different kinds of marketing to then turn and make profit. The next thing to consider when thinking about concepts and factors is the core values of products and service. To me, there's two big ones that stand out more than any of the other ones. That's ethics and customer satisfaction. Ethics being, we're doing the right things, we're following our business to code, and we're keeping everything with the law. And customer satisfaction is making sure the customer has the best experience they can have at our business and with our product and service. The last concept and factor to consider is the impact of product life and the cycles on marketing decisions. One thing to consider is product expirations. When thinking about our ready-made meal or our floral department, each of those products we sell will have a limited amount of time we have to use them. Another thing to consider is supply and demand. When demand is high, we need to have our supply just as high. When demand is low, we need to also match that with our supply. Wherever we go with supply and demand, we need to create our equilibrium. Now, to answer the question of floral department or ready-to-made meals, we need to consider the pros and cons of each. First, the floral department. The first pro that comes to mind is the consistent business from November to May. We've managed to get consistent business from each of those months and brought in a consistent revenue. And it's tough to go against a business that has something that consistent with revenue. Another thing is there's a lot of consistent trends in flowers. Because of this, we'll be able to keep a stable brand. There's also some cons to the floral department. The tough months between June and October being one of the bigger cons. Because of this, we won't be able to generate as much revenue in those months, and in our past, it's been consistently poor. Also, there's surrounding floral stores, 3 to be exact. Because of this competition in our city, we'll be losing a lot of our customers just from having flower stores nearby. Next is the ready-made meals, the pros and cons of those. First is the customer demand, which means, for me, I know when I'm hungry, the worst place to be is a grocery store. But I'm hungry a lot and at a grocery store a lot. And because of this, I do look for foods and meals that are ready to eat, even when I just get in the car. Because of this, having a ready-made meal department will give them the foods that they want and they can eat on a quick go. Another pro is a wide variety of foods. Where there's less variety in flours and what you can do with them, there's a lot of different foods you can make and sell. That adds a wide variety and can tap into different diets and personal tastes of our customers. A con is upkeep. When it comes to foods, especially hot foods or even cold foods, it's tough to make sure which ones are good and which ones are bad to sell to the customers. Because of this, we have to keep a keener eye on expiration dates and also food just not being where it should be. Because of this, it'll take a lot of our valuable time away. Another thing is the cost of rebranding. If we do go from the floral department to the ready-made meals, we'll need to consider a rebrand, and this would cost a lot of extra money and marketing and changing the department around as a whole. Now, another thing to consider with both the floral department and ready-made meals is our core values. Our core values, which will remain consistent, our business ethics and our customer satisfaction. In both of these departments, we need to keep considering these two and make sure that they're up to par. This comes to my final recommendation. I believe that we should go with the ready-made meals. Though the cost of the rebrand may be hefty, our steady business year-round will make it a beneficial choice for Cloverfields. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Once again, I'm Ray Sison. Thank you.